Now, when it comes to emotional intelligence, certainly human being is the most intelligent animal in the kingdom, right? However, when it comes to emotional intelligence, many have referred to the elephant as one of the animals with the highest level of intelligence, and some of the traits uh, in respect of how elephants behave actually is seen on what emotional intelligence should be for human as well. So I want us to go to the elephant and learn some lessons about emotional intelligence from the elephants. Because if this is how animals even behave, then it means as top level human beings, we have to behave even much better than them. So, what are the lessons about emotional intelligence from the elephants? Number one, self awareness. If we want to build strong emotional intelligence, we need to be aware. We need to be aware of what is going on. So, this means that if you know yourself, you will identify the things that trigger your emotions so you can avoid them or know how to deal with them. That is the first level, self awareness. Remember, we said emotional intelligence is knowing one's emotion and then identify others' emotion and responding appropriately to the changes. So it starts with self awareness. You need to be aware of yourself. Many people don't know themselves. You don't know what triggers you. You don't know what makes you angry. You don't know this. Because if you know what makes you angry, you can put barriers in place as early as possible. But that is the first thing, self awareness. Second, you got to develop a growth mindset. There are various types of mindsets that we can talk about. Fixed mindsets, people who will be like, yo, I mean, this is how I was brought up. This is how my mother said we should do it. When I was growing up, this was how we do our things. So this is how we are going to do it. That's a fixed mindset. Leaders with such mindsets can never build any significant businesses. Followers with such mindsets can never thrive in any organization. You need to have a growth mindset. Now, what does this mean? It simply means the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication, effort, and learning rather than being fixed or innate. Sometimes people think leaders are born. No, leaders are not born, they are made. Entrepreneurs are not born, they are made. Everybody can learn to become whatever they want to become if they are committed to it. Because you see, that is what growth mindset is about. It starts with your belief system. So if you're not ready to learn, you think your way of doing things is the only way there is for something to be done, then you're going to be losing people. Imagine we have a business and the business has launched a new product, and the company says, hey, listen, the product that we have launched, we're going to be doing billboard and radio ads about the product. And it'd be like, really? That's not what. Then the leader will say, hey, this is how we've been doing things. Now, that is called strategy as design. So it means we execute strategy based on what has been fixed, what has been designed. We can bring it into the second type of, lenses of strategy, and then that will be strategy as experience. Hey, in the past, we do radio. In the past, we do billboards, and we sell the product. No, there are new ways of selling products now. How many people are listening to radio? How many people are even looking at billboards these days? And so, how do we leverage? Because now attention is on the mobile devices. So, yeah, continue to have a budget for the radio. Yeah, continue to have the budget for some billboards, but hey, can we have some social media? So this is where the marketing team, the marketing executives, and the supervisor or the head of the marketing department may be fighting over. But if the marketing manager is not somebody with a growth mindset where things can be learned, things can be different. We cannot go with how things are being done in the past all the time for the execution of strategies. Then the company can expand, the company can grow. And so this means that as leaders, you must move away from the fixed mindset. You must move away from the mindset that, yeah, when I was growing up, this was how we did our things. And so these days, this is how you're also going to do. Yes, there is a point. There are certain ancient principles we cannot overturn. There are certain things our grandfathers, our great grandparents did, and we can't change it. We have to follow that same thing in order for us to become successful. But you have to understand that a lot is changing these days. And hence, something that had worked in the past, strategy as experience, may not work today. So the entity must reach a point in time where people's mindsets are changing so that we adopt new ways of doing things. And that'll be strategy as ideas or strategy as innovation. These are the things we must understand about the growth mindset. Skill number 3, do not label people. This is one of the reasons why there is always going to be a friction between management and then the subordinates. And this means that collaboration in the workplace requires the removal of labels and finding ways to work together coherently. There are sometimes people are like, oh, Ewas, this is how they are. Ashantis, this is what they are. Guns, this is what they are. And this generation, this Gen Z, they don't have anything in their head. They are lazy people. They are always on their phone and all of those things. Label. So sometimes leaders feel that they have to be on subordinates to do their job. They have to micromanage them. But you see, micromanagement can work to a certain level, but beyond a certain level, micromanagement can no longer work. Because if you feel as a leader of your department, you have to micromanage everybody, then you are not a leader. Then you don't qualify to lead people. Now, why will you be micromanaging? Because in your brain, these people know nothing. These people cannot make any decision. Okay, empower them. Growth mindset. Okay, teach them how the thing is supposed to be done. Growth mindset. Okay, show them how it is supposed to be done rightly so that with or without you, whether you are present or you are not present, they can still achieve what you want them to achieve and you don't have to micromanage them. That is the concept of not labeling people. And it works with the flip side, subordinates. Employees of a company, they sometimes label the CEO. They label their supervisor and say, hey, this man, no matter what I do, he doesn't accept anything. Hey, this woman, she is giving me tough time. Everything I'm doing, she wants to look into it. Please give me a space. I want to do my work. Hey, this type of leaders, what kind of leadership is this? No, we cannot label people. Because immediately you label people, it means you are in a fixed mindset environment. And nothing can be done to change that. So if you label your manager like, oh, he's an Ewe. Ewe people, that's how they are. Oh, he's an Ashanti. Ashanti people, that's how they are. Oh, he's a politician. Politicians, when they get power, they hold on the power like it is their family property. Those kind of labeling, although there may be some element of truth in either of them, prevents you from seeing the side of the person that really will empower you and enable you to do your job well, and most importantly, take your life to the next level. Because you see, anything you don't know, sometimes you judge. Anything you don't understand, sometimes you will call evil. But you need not label people, experience people. Yeah, somebody will say, oh, Ewas are wicked. How many Ewas have you met? How many Ewas have you experienced? Oh, Ashantis are this. How many Ashantis have you met? How many Ashantis have you worked with? Oh, northern people, this is how they are. Every northerner I know, that is how they are. How many northerners have you met? So we need to stop labeling people. And this actually goes beyond even the corporate world to our relationship. You see people sitting down talking, maybe a lady, and they be like, oh, never trust a man in your life. Okay, that is labeling. How many men have you been with? Give and take, there are almost over 4 billion men in the world. How many men have you been with to conclude that all men are the same? Don't trust men. Or somebody will say, oh, all women are the same. Trust women at your own peril. How many women have you been with There are over 4 billion women in the world. How do you label everybody like that? Because you see, when we label people, it means before we experience them, we have already concluded the outcome. So no matter what they do, no matter how different they are, no matter what the excellence in their personality, it doesn't change people. And when you do that, you are going to struggle a lot. So leaders and followers must not label people. Yes, we come from a different background, different tribe, different home, different upbringing, different exposure, different lifestyle. But how do we work together to ensure that everybody is satisfied, the company is making profit, and we are all earning a living at the end of the day? That is what leadership means. And that is what collaboration brings on the table if we do not label people. Then the fourth skills is to think about others. You see, this is what you must understand. Good leadership and collaboration requires empathy and understanding of others. You got to think about others. Yes, we've given, you are a leader, you've given something to your subordinates to do, and you've even given them deadline. Then they come, maybe a few days to the deadline. They said, "Sir, I'm sorry, but we have to do A, B, and C, yada yada yada." And you are like, "Hey, what? Why? Every day we give you work, you do this, then you are angry, you are talking. Yes, I understand. The goal of the organization must be achieved. Yes, I understand. You have to report to the board, but that is not how you handle that issue. You need to sit down, reflect, and think about others. Have empathy. Maybe sometimes they just want somebody to listen to them. And so, as leaders, you must think about your followers. You must think about others. It's not always about the company, because if the employees feel hostile, if the employees are not of their best self emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, guess what? They are going to not, they wouldn't perform well, and we cannot achieve the goals of the organization. Now, does it mean if any employee is misbehaving, the leader will just be, empathizing? That's not what we are saying here. What we are saying here is that we build a culture within the organization where people's need, people's challenges, people's interests are considered when making various decisions, so that maybe people are going through hard time, you don't meet them with another hardship or threat of them losing their job. Maybe they are fighting a battle at home. Then here you are as the leader of the company, you are threatening them that if they are not able to do A, B, and C, you're going to lay them off. Okay, it's okay, you want to achieve the company's objective, but you got to be empathetic. You must understand others. The reverse is true. Employees, subordinates, you also have to understand the leaders. Because you see, sometimes followers think leaders are rude. Leaders don't respect them. Leaders don't consider them. Leaders don't factor their contribution. Sometimes decisions have been made by the board. The board determined the strategic direction of the company, various things, how things are supposed to be executed, and everything has been decided by the board. And on the board, we may have the CEO and the CFO there. Now, the management team is going to pick that strategic plan to implement within the organization. And that must be channeled down throughout the company and must be done the way board has approved it. And so when we now come to implementation and you are a subordinate and you think there is a way that the thing should be done which will be contrary to the plan and the objectives and the goals of the entity, certainly you will meet resistance. And that is where sometimes people think, oh, then I'll leave this company and then get a new job somewhere. Or I'll leave this company and go and start my own company. Good luck. Go start your own company. But you have to understand that it is not about you. You have to understand that before that strategic plan was brought to your table as an employee, as an implementer, it has been thought through. Chances are various factors have been considered. And even if you have better way of how it is supposed to be done, there is a way it must be communicated. But if you make it appear as though you are sensible, you are wiser than your leaders, then we go back to Robert Greene's 40 laws of power. A follower shall not outshine the leader. Rule number one. It means you are trying to outshine your leader. And if you are trying to outshine the leader, maybe you can do it the first time, they will overlook it. But if it continues and continues and continues, and you repeatedly undermine their capability, you undermine who they are, you undermine like they don't know what they are talking about. Guess what? You're going to meet a resistance, and that is where, if you're not careful, you will leave the company. So even if you have something against how strategies have been implemented by the organization, know how it should be communicated, know how you channel it to management, know how you say it so that it doesn't appear as though you are challenging authority or you are the wisest person in the room or that. Because if not, there could be a lot of frictions at the end of the day, because you will be bruising people's emotions, you will be bruising people's ego. And if you're not careful, and you do that repeatedly, as I said, the first time people can overlook it. But if it becomes repeated, it's like you are sensible than everybody in the organization. Then you will meet some friction. And sometimes what you call the best way of how things are supposed to be done is actually not the best way.